Now, this is an interesting movie because you got the title is Invaders from Mars, 1986. And the star character is a little boy named David. And so the little boy David, he wakes up and he sees a UFO land close to his house on this hill by the beach. And so he goes and tells his parents. The parents say, we don't believe you. You're talking crazy, pretty much. Like most of these Americans when they think about UFOs. So they pretty much ignore the little boy. He goes to school. His daddy goes down there, and the daddy gets a chip put in the some kind of marked chip thing in the back of his neck. And so the daddy puts a band-aid. I don't know if the daddy put the band-aid. Yeah, he didn't put the band-aid on. And the little boy saw it at the dinner table. So the daddy took the mother down there, and she became just like him with the chip. And the son knew something was wrong because the daddy was drinking coffee. He put some Tic Tacs in his coffee. And with the drinking the coffee hot as fire, he drinks the coffee. So, long story short, the boy goes to school and he runs into the nurse. The nurse didn't have the thing on the back of her neck, so he told the nurse what was going on, and the nurse started helping him out. Started helping him pretty much with the alien invasion. So it get to the point where the nurse, he think of this military guy, and he goes and get the nurse to contact the military guy, and him and the nurse go talk to the military guy. And so eventually these two guys in the picture, they go down to investigate where this so-called ship thing is. And so when they down there investigating, the ground swallowed them up. So eventually, I guess the aliens swallowed them up in the ground so they could chip them and use them as some spies into Nassau. You see, they got the Nassau suits on. So now they got the chip in the back of their neck. And so the little boy told the military man about it, and he told the Nassau head peoples to send these two guys to him so he can question them, because the woman, the teacher, the nurse, saw him these two go into the sand. And so when they called him in the office, he said, well, we trying to see what's going on with you guys in the Copper Hill investigation. And so the two guys pulls out guns, and they start pointing at the military commander. And so this is the purpose of these chips. Now, you got aliens in the movie. You know about the UFOs. Them the chariots of the Most High. But while they exposing that situation, pretty much they giving you a scenario of when these aliens hit the scene, or when these UFOs start popping up everywhere. And mind you, this 1986. When the UFOs start popping up everywhere, that's when the chips is going to be implemented in the people to control them. Now look at the purpose of why you trying to put this chip in, folks, with this scene right here.
All right, now you men are gonna tell me just what the hell this is all about. Keep back! My God. You're dead. What? Jesus!
Now the chips is controlling the people. So now the guy try to interrogate him, and the alien, the head alien, he looked like a big brain with some eyeballs, and he pretty much put the chip in folks and control the people. So now that they trying to interrogate the guy and say, well, what the heck is going on around here? Y'all need to give us some kind of explanation. Before the guys could tell on him and expose him, they use the chip to kill him. So the chip controlling the people already, but the point of how they control them is when you gonna kill, they able to kill the peoples outside of controlling them and telling them what to do through having this thing in their neck. You see, and that's what the whole situation of when you talk about the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is so you can control the peoples on the planet, but you got to chip everybody so you can control them, because they know if you get out of hand or you get out of line, they can turn your chip off or cause the chip to kill you. So now I can kill you at any point in time you try to buck the system and go against what I want you to do. And they already got this plan. In 1986, they already know the whole plan, and they just put it in the movie form. You got the nurse that's dealing with some kind of, we gonna use the nurse in the medical field to help us bring in this chip. And then we got the military that's gonna implement the chip and do all the work that we need to done. So you got all the players in the game. Then you got the Israelites, is David, the little boy. See them that's the what you call it, the chosen, the elect, is the little boy David, the house of David. That's why David, it landed right behind the house of David's house. You see, the little boy, his house was right there where the aliens landed, and he was the only one that saw the aliens, and that was believing that the aliens was around at the time. See, these movies that these Jewish people is making is very spiritual, and the Most High using them to give us the whole game. And so, this is the game plan that the Most High is using. And once David was the chosen, and they was always after David. Even the alien was after David. The whole goal of the aliens was to get David. They got his parents, and they was going to use the parents to get him. Now, also, they was trying to chip David. The main goal was to chip David, and the main goal was to get him. So on both ends, on the left-hand side, they trying to chip him, and on the right-hand side, they trying to get him and take him with them in the UFO. So on both ends, they got the whole movie covered. And so this movie is very spiritual. It's called The Invaders from Mars. Then they had a conversation with the little boy. Let me find this conversation.
The Viking mission is found in the center of life. Except for this one photo I saw in a magazine of these things on the surface that look like pyramids. I saw that photograph. Yeah, and what about that huge thing that kind of looked like a monkey's head? It was in all the papers. That was fake, right?
On the contrary, there were other photos, too sensational to be made public.
But there is not enough water to support life.
On the surface. That's why we're looking below ground this time.
If there is, David, it may not want to be found.
And what about that huge thing that kind of looked like a monkey's head? It was in all the papers. That was fake, right?
On the contrary, there were other photos, too sensational to be made public.
But there is not enough water to support life.
On the surface. That's why we're looking below ground this time.
If there is, David, it may not want to be found.
The tunnels.
It may not want us up there.
Now, mind you, the whole time that they having this conversation about the Nassau people can let us know what's really going on. The Nassau guy saying, "Oh, well, we had some photos of these UFOs, but they was too controversial and we couldn't show them to nobody." You see, so they got all kind of photos of the UFOs and they ain't finna let nobody know. Then they talking about what they done seen and all this kind of stuff. And the man, he say, well, maybe they don't want us up there. Now, if you don't listen to these UFO astronauts, the astronauts say that it was that the ships, some UFOs was following them while they was trying to go up there. And the UFOs done shot down multiple astronaut operations. Then it was one of the astronaut guys for NASA. He say that the UFO shot down. He say they don't want us up there. They every time they try to shoot something up there, they shoot it down. One of the old NASA guys say they shoot it down every time they try to go up there or send something up there. It gets shot down every time. Then they guarding the nuclear missile bases. Now, speaking of nuclear missiles, they talking about launch and countdown. Now, the countdown here say 1349. Now, you see they got the nuclear missile on TV, and that's all in. They going to drop the bomb on to blow up the nuclear missiles. The UFOs on here, the aliens sending a bomb to blow up this spaceship or whatever they got over here, but it looked like a nuclear missile. And so that's a part of the thing too, because they twisting the whole operation, but they speaking on every part of what's going on. They speaking on the UFO, they speaking on the microchip, they speaking on the nuclear weapons that's gonna be is the nucleus of the operation in the end of the world. They already know how it's going down. They got the army implementing the situation. They running through and trying to deal with this chipping thing and rescue pretty much the nurse. They pretty much took the nurse place on helping the little boy, helping David, or dealing with David. They took her place. So there's so many symbolisms and allegories up in this movie, man. This movie is so powerful. Aliens, invaders from outer space. Now let's get who the real invaders is gonna be. Okay, let's start in Habakkuk. Habakkuk 3, chapter 3, verse 3 talks about how the Edomites say God came from Teman, but that's not what it's talking about. They added from. So it's really saying God came to Teman or to Edom, because Teman is a son of Edom. Like when they say Amalek or Idumea, that's just another name of the Edomites. Like Judah, Benjamin, Levi, just another name of an Israelite, a tribe. So it's saying that God gonna come there, and when he come, he gonna cover the whole heavens of the earth. everybody gonna see him. Now, he say that's an invasion right there in itself. But when you get down to verse 8, Salaki, verse 8, at the bottom of verse 8, it say that he gonna be riding upon horses in the chariots of salvation. So he gonna have UFOs, vehicles that's gonna save people. Then when you get down to verse 16, it say he shall come up upon the people, he will invade them with his troops. You see? So that's giving you a specific thing that he gonna do. When he come to Edom, the lands that's been ruled by Edom, he's gonna invade them. Like, it's coming from outer space with chariots or vehicles of salvation to invade these Edomites. Now, it repeat that same thing in Revelation. Let's hit 19. 19 tell you the whole story too. Let's see. Verse let's get it real quick. Verse 11, it said, and I saw the heavens open up, and a white horse, there go that horse of salvation. And he that sit upon it was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he do judge and make war. He coming to make war on this chariot. Okay, let's get down to, I think it repeated again and tell you about these horses. 14, it say the armies which were in heaven followed him. So he coming with a whole army. That's what he said. He gonna invade with his troops. With his troops, he gonna invade. Talking about Habakkuk chapter 3, he gonna invade with the chariots of salvation with his troops. Then you get into 14 here in Revelation 19:14. Say the armies which were in heaven, because they covered the whole heaven, him upon the white horse. That's the white on the chariot. Clean with fine linen, white and clean. So there go the chariots. But then when you get to verse 19, it says, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies. That's these Edomites and they major military armies, along with Moab and Ishmael and the rest of them, non-Israelites, the heathens, and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. That's that war that broke out of heaven in chapter 12. So this is all through the Bible. Then when you get to verse 20, it lets you know off the rip the whole situation. And it say that, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that worked miracles before him, with which deceived them that had received the mark. So the folks that had done got the little chip in the back of their neck, like the movie got, but really in the right hand or the forehead, wherever they gonna put it, this tracking control device that they gonna put on folks, they all gonna be thrown into the lake of fire. That's when the nuclear bomb that the UFO so-called pop and guard, because they want to make sure nobody don't mess with them UFOs. I mean those nuclear weapons. They gonna use this nuclear weapons to bring the lake of fire. So the UFOs always come down and guard the nuclear weapons. That's what they always see the UFOs doing, and making sure they don't shoot the nuclear weapons out of the Earth's atmosphere. They shoot down the nuclear weapon every time they try to shoot it and blow up the moon or do some kind of craziness. The UFOs knock it down, and this is all coming straight from the scripture. But only David could see the UFOs and understand what the heck is going on. See, only the house of David could understand. The other people that was around, they didn't know what the heck was going on. They was totally blind to the situation. And that's what these Christianity heathens and blind Israelites, they can't understand the situation. It's just too far-fetched for them. And it's something crazy. You talking crazy to them. And this movie is power.
I think the Viking make.
And so I'm gonna leave it there at 19. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth worldwide. Peace of the elect worldwide. The kingdom is at hand. Shalom.